Jesus have a God, yes or no?
Yeah, he submits to the Father as his God.
He just said.
Wait, do you want me to break that down?
Am I being punked?
What I'm showing you is that just because the head of Christ is God the Father doesn't take away from Jesus having the same divine nature as the Father. Like, for example, if the head of every woman is man, are they not both human? So notice how this is talking about rank, not nature. What I'm saying is that yes, Christ humbles himself to the Father. He's subordinate to the Father willfully, but that doesn't take away that he himself shares the same divine eternal nature as the Father, as we see what the scripture says. For by him all things were created. Was he created? If you say yes, then you have to say that the Father created Jesus through Jesus. That makes no sense.
Why would Jesus refer to the Father as his God? Well, because if you go back to the prologue, we're told that the Word became flesh. Now, why is that relevant? According to Jeremiah 32:27, it says, I am Jehovah, the God of all flesh. Since Jesus is distinct from the Father and the Spirit, though one God with them, and Jesus became flesh in order to fulfill the Father's will. Because what did he say in John 6:38? I've come down from heaven not to do my will, but the will of him who sent me. So I've come down voluntarily to become flesh, to take a status of a servant, to fulfill my Father's will. If Jesus becomes flesh, and he's not the only person who is God, and the Father remains in heaven in his glorious state, and God is spirit by nature, he didn't become flesh, but the Son became flesh, should it shock us and surprise us that from the moment that Jesus became flesh, the Father would become his God? We actually would have to expect that if the Bible's consistent. So the reason why Jesus has a God over him, namely the Father, is because Jesus became flesh, became a flesh and blood human being.